Have you ever wondered what you might actually look like if you locked in and committed yourself for 6 to 12 months? Like if you really visualized it. I'm not talking about cutting an image out of your favorite magazine of a movie star that you're hoping you might look like one day. Maybe I'm showing my age with that one. But now we can really use AI to our advantage. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it. If you're new here, my name's Alex, I'm an online fitness coach, and this channel is me helping you to get fitter, stronger, healthier, without your whole life having to revolve around it. I've helped hundreds of people create a plan that works for their life individually and made these plans so sustainable that they achieve long-term results, like some of these people. Now today's video is a bit different. This actually wasn't even meant to be a video at all. It started as something I did for myself just out of curiosity really, and it turned into a bit of a wake-up call. So I thought I'd share it with you. I want you to imagine this for a second. You don't actively quit the gym, you don't make a conscious decision to completely give up with your fitness, you just get busy. Work takes over, evenings turn into sofa time, food becomes convenience-based, a few more drinks creep in, and all of a sudden you've been swept up in life and months have gone by, you don't even really know how you got there. And the question I asked myself was, what actually happens to me if I live like that for the next few months? Like, how would I look visually? So this is where ChatGPT comes in. Now, before anyone jumps in, no, this is not an exact science. Of course, it's artificial intelligence, so you've got to take it all with a pinch of salt. But as a visual motivation tool, it's surprisingly powerful. Because sometimes knowing what you should do isn't enough. Sometimes you need to actually see where you're heading. For context, I train regularly, I'm a coach, I like training, I like feeling strong, fit, healthy, especially now I have kids. But I'm also not immune to slipping. I'm busy, I work long days, I get tired, stressed, and all of that other stuff that comes with being a human. And even as a coach, there are moments where you have to consciously stay locked in. There are temptations everywhere, and sometimes even I find it hard to hold myself accountable. This exercise was one of those moments where it opened my eyes to locking back in. So this first image, this is me in what I'd call good shape. Not shredded, not photo shoot shape, just solid. I feel comfortable and confident here. I eat 80 to 90% good, whole, nutritious, healthy food, leaving some room for enjoyment. I sleep better, I'm stronger, I move better. This is my normal when I'm looking after myself. And then I typed in my first prompt. I asked ChatGPT, if I did nothing for the next 3 months except work, sit on the sofa in the evenings, eat mostly processed food, and drink alcohol, what would I look like? And when the image came back, I didn't feel completely shocked. I thought, yeah, I could see that happening. Maybe it's because I'm a coach and I see this stuff happen all the time, but to actually see it on myself was a bit of an eye-opener. Because this version of me isn't a total mess. He's softer, a bit fluffier, less definition. This is the phase where people say, I feel like I've let myself slip a bit. I just need to get myself back into it. But sometimes it's not painful enough to actually take action on because the change isn't that noticeable. So weeks pass, then months. And when I go on to the next stage, I ask ChatGPT, okay, if this continues for another 3 months, what does that look like? So 6 months in total. And this one hit harder. You can clearly see the difference here. Like, this does not look like a happy Alex at all. In fact, I know this man isn't showing up as a good dad. He isn't performing well at work. He's probably switched off and distant from his family and his friends. His clothes are very uncomfortable. Maybe he needs to buy some new ones. And he definitely is dreading summer where he needs to expose it all around the pool in front of everybody. This is what 6 months of small decisions looks like. And for me, this was the real wake-up call. And if you look and feel like this or similar right now, this is where I want you to really hear this. Nobody wakes up one day and says, I'm just going to let myself go. It happens through skipped training sessions, convenience meals, tired decisions. I'll start Monday and again and again and again. And suddenly you're looking at a different version of yourself you don't quite recognise. It's not your fault if life's taken over. It happens. But it is your responsibility to now make a change. You know what's interesting about all of this, and this part actually really has research behind it, is that scientists have studied how connected we feel with our future selves and how that impacts our behaviour today. There's this concept in psychology called future self continuity. Basically, how much you feel like your future self is you, not some stranger. And studies show that when you feel more connected to the person you'll be in the future, you make decisions today that protect that future person. One study run by the American Psychology Association got people to think about their future selves, and it turned out those people were more likely to exercise in the days following than the people who didn't think about their future selves. And that tells us something really powerful. The mental link that you make between your present and your future self can influence the actions that you take. Another line of research shows that people who see age progress versions of themselves, like their faces being older, actually makes more future-oriented choices. In the case of those studies in particular, it was saving more for retirement, but the principle is still the same. When your future self feels real, you make choices today that help that future person. So when we use AI-generated tools and imagery, even just imagining in our own minds, we're strengthening the psychological connection between now and later. And in fitness, that is absolutely huge, because most people won't allow themselves to look into the future. They just kind of live in the present moment without any consideration for how their actions today affect their future self. And therefore, they don't always make the best decisions today. So I switched it up. I changed the ChatGPT prompt and I asked ChatGPT, what if this person trained 4 times a week, hit their steps most days, ate whole nutritious food 80 to 90% of the time, drank a lot of water, slept properly, but still enjoyed a meal out at the weekend? And the image that came back was interesting because it wasn't unrealistically ripped. My abs certainly weren't popping at this moment in time, but I looked way healthier. You could tell this person trained, you could tell that they looked after themselves, and I thought, that's actually realistic for 90 days. I've seen it happen in real life with myself, and I've also seen it with my clients. There's a saying within fitness that it takes a month for you to notice the change, it takes 2 months for people close to you to notice, and then it takes 3 months for everyone else to notice, and they're like, what have you been doing? And when I first started going to the gym, it played out exactly like that. Most people don't have the consistency though to get to that 90-day stage to really see what's possible for them. And this is the important part if you've tried before. Most people quit because their expectations are actually wrong. They think that in 90 days means like 6-pack and big muscles. It doesn't. I've really lost count how many times someone says to me, I really don't want like big muscles and like to be really ripped. And I'm like, don't worry, you're not going to be within the next 90 days unless you're on some kind of steroids or something like that. But we don't promote that or support that on this channel. But what 90 days actually does do is it gives you focus. It gives you momentum, structure, confidence, proof that it's working. And that's enough to keep you going. Then I got a bit excited and I went one step further. I said, what if this person locked in for a full year? Not completely obsessed to the point where I've made myself miserable. I've seen how total restriction plays out and it usually comes back to bite that person because it's unsustainable. But this person is disciplined, a positive frame of mind towards their fitness, protein with every meal, training with intent, controlling their calories, running or doing any form of cardio because it feels good, alcohol saved for very special occasions, and sleep protected. And yeah, that image lit something up. Look at this man. Muscles popping out all over the place. Now, I'm going to be honest, I know myself and my body, and this is probably a bit too far for myself personally. I'd comfortably find somewhere between this and the first image that I shared and be able to maintain that. And that's what it's about for me. Like, what shape can I get into that I can maintain for most of my life without feeling like I'm restricting myself, without cutting out everything, like without cutting out social events, without alienating myself from anyone else, without alienating myself, like when I'm out in a restaurant as an example. There is a balance, and I think that the balance is somewhere between these two people, and for me, I'd be comfortable with that. Everyone's different, so you have to find the level in which you are comfortable. And honestly, this whole exercise wasn't about aesthetics. It was about identity. Who do I want to be showing up as in 6 months to a year's time? The work doesn't change that much. The habits and the nutrition don't need to be extreme. It's actually the consistency and the direction over a long period of time. It's got to be a plan that works for you and for your life in the long term. And like I said right at the beginning of this video, that's exactly how I coach people. So if you're watching this thinking, I'm probably closer to that middle version than I'd like to admit, good. That means that you are aware of where you're at right now. And awareness is the starting point for change. 3 months from now is coming whether you like it or not. You can either drift into it or you can attack it head on. And look, if you want help to attack it, that's exactly what we do. Our 90-day program is about you and helping you to build habits that actually fit into your life. Training that you enjoy, food you can sustain, accountability and weekly check-ins with me so you don't drift. You genuinely can look and feel completely different in 90 days. Click the link below this video for more information on how to work with me. I'd urge you to take some photos of yourself and have some fun with artificial intelligence on this. There are some crazy things being created with AI right now. Some good, some very bad and quite scary. But this, I believe, is a cause for good that can actually serve you. Make it a challenge to yourself to lock in for the next 90 days and see how your photos compare with what AI generated for you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love interacting with you all and hearing your journeys about how your own health and fitness has improved. So leave a comment below. If you've always struggled with losing belly fat and it feels like it's the last to go, there are 3 stages to it, and you can watch in this video to see exactly which stage you're currently at. I'll catch you in the next video.